And then more fire. Got him.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Woo. Fire.
And even though I could adventure here a little bit, I am not going to too much. I am just going to go ahead and go for the Firelink Shrine.
Yes. Did you already kill him?
Yep.
Wow. That was fast for you.
Make sure no one's following me.
Well, you're not
And I'm
alone,
just going to go ahead and skip through these guys,
don't you? What a start.
Yeah.
because there's nothing too much important. But for her, I will listen.
Welcome to the bonfire, unkindled one.
Eh.
I am a firekeeper.
To the Firelink Shrine.
I tend to the flame, and tend to thee. The lords have left their thrones, and must be delivered to them. To this end, I am at thy side. Very
All right, I'm
well.
going to go ahead and level up.
Then touch the darkness within me. Take nourishment from these sovereign
Level up.
souls.
All right, so on the first level up, first thing you want to do early game, regardless of whatever you're playing, whether you're going to be the Knight, Pyromancer, or anything else, is you want to up your Vigor. Why Vigor?
Yeah.
The reason why you want to actually level up your Vigor over any other stat in this entire table is because you do not want to get one shot. If you
No.
have more health, you have more opportunity to take a little bit more damage. And when you are able to take a little bit more damage, it avoids you and takes away the possibility of just getting one shot from one attack. And especially, we don't want to really be squishy. That's the main stat we're going to be going for. Second, I'm going to be looking at endurance, trying to get that up to 20 as well. So 20 on vigor, and then later 20 on endurance. And then it depends what you're kind of going for. If you're going for your damage, you're going to go for your damage stats. I would not be doing any points in vitality, especially early because I'm the knight. Just because I would go for damage before I would actually go for vitality, because again, kind of like Warframe, being able to take out the enemy makes it so that you don't take damage. So going health first and endurance, so you can keep on running or keep on rolling or be able to spam more attacks, and then afterwards going for your strength stat, whether it be in your strength or your damage stat, whether it be your strength, your dex, your intelligence, or your faith, whatever you're actually going for damage, I would level that up third. But for now, we're going to go ahead and go Vigor, which is going to give us a lot more health bar. And I'm going to get that up to around 20. And then after 20, then I'll go Endurance 20. And then after that, I am going to actually be going Dex for the Lothric Knight Sword. Because the Lothric Knight Sword is a nice sword.
Yeah. I
All right.
like my axe, so I'm gonna go for the deep axe.
Okay. And then over here,
Descend the fire.
going to go ahead and re-allot my Estus. Depending on what you're doing, if you're going to go FP, keep more FP flasks. If you're going to go more HP, I would go more HP flasks. Since I am just going to be a melee, I'm just going to go straight up the health flasks, which is going to be my biggest benefit.
Yeah.
Go ahead and put this down.
I went the wrong way. To Pickle Pea.
Ashen one, produce the coiled sword at the bonfire. The mark of ash will guide thee to the
Hey,
land
first
of the
time I
lords,
jumped.
to Lothric, where the homes of the lords
To Pickle
converge.
Pea.
All
Farewell,
right.
Ashen one. May the flames guide thee.
I love the Firekeeper. All right, and then over here is our market or our store. I'm just going to go through her because it would take forever. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab the torch because the torch is universally good.
Estus shard.
Not only is the torch a good source of light, but it also cures any bleed that happens upon you.
Yeah.
So the torch is just always a good one to just grab at least one early and then keep it in your offhand.
A silver serpent ring.
I'm gonna turn that
definitely gonna put that on.
And yeah, she's already at the silver serpent ring, so I'll go ahead and show how to get that.
Yes. I am already at the silver serpent ring.
So this
I
jump
made.
up here is actually how you get the silver serpent ring. And from my experience, I wouldn't start at the top of the hill here if you're trying to jump this, because when you're getting up the tree, you're going to have to do such a big pull to the right to be able to jump onto the tile on the right. So what I would do is I would start about down here-ish and run up the tree, really just run up the tree. And then that way you're having to do less of a pull to the right. That way it's a lot easier to just run up the tree. And first go.
You jumped it on the first go too.
Yeah, but when you're on that staircase, kind of start shallower, start deeper, go down a little bit deeper, and then just really climb that tree when you start getting up there.
All right, I'm gonna go to the high wall.
Okay.
To the high wall.
There's also the Estus shard, so I can get that upgraded.
I already grabbed it. I'm glad I did the pyromancer.
Yes. So this, for the silver serpent ring, why this is really, really good is it increases your growth. So
Yeah.
for every soul that you get more souls. So grabbing this silver serpent ring early is very much so a must, because it helps you level up all the time. It ups your growth factor, because I believe it increases your souls by 20%, and souls go into levels. So being able to level quicker is a lot more useful.
Oh yeah. Alright, which side was that? For the deep axe. I think it was over on the left there.
Alrighty, and then I'm going to go ahead and show there are 6 units that actually drop the iron shield. All sword bearing units will actually drop the longsword, but it's at reduced rates, and I'll kind of go over why it's kind of ridiculous, why the iron shield is where it's at.
Uh-huh.
It would be amazing if I actually got the iron shield on the first go.
That would be amazing.
Okay. So the left side of the wall, if you're going traveling left, is going to be easier than if you're traveling right. Traveling right, there's some heavier units. They are harder to take out, so we'll just travel left for now.
Yes.
Howlers will call everyone else to them to attack, to take out the howlers.
Binoculars.
Binocs.
Yes. I got binoculars.
So this is one of the shield bearers. Any of the shield bearers will have a 2% chance to actually drop the iron shield. There are 6 of them actually scattered out throughout the high wall of Lothric. So in a run, you only have like 11% chance for every single one of them to actually get that iron shield. So that was one downstairs. There's a second shield bearer up here. That's 2. We're going to get the binoculars.
The binoculars. Firebomb. Eh. Ew. Oh, I forgot that up there. I know how to get that. Go here. Go behind the dragon. Ta-da. Gold pen resin.
Shield bearers, you can actually do them if they're not going to be aggressive.
Oh, really?
What I mean by do is just run around them in circles.
Mm-hmm.
To get rid of these guys, there is also a shield bearer up there. He is just descending down the stairs, so that's number 3. Number 4 is actually up here. You can see him right there. We're going to get this dragon to go ahead and get rid of all these guys. Which gives us a lot more souls. So it's just a faster way of dealing with them. He's going to breathe down here as well. And I believe there's also another tanky dude. Don't attempt this unless you actually have around 20 vigor.
Yeah, I would not attempt it.
But we can go ahead and roll and not get hit.
Woohoo!
Now we are directly beneath the dragon. In fact, you can actually see the dragon's tail poking through the ceiling. Some point.
Ow.
Where is that little itsy bitsy tail? You
The
can
itsy bitsy tail.
you can see it on some of them. Like it's poking through the ceiling somewhere down here. So that was 4 iron shields. This is 5. And we got 1 Lothric Knight. Attack before he attacks when he charges you.
Ren, I don't want to get fire done. Okay.
It's the quickest and easiest way to dispatch any Lothric Knight.
Yes. I will attack you with fireball. Ow. Ow.
There is going to be the
Hey, gotcha.
bonfire upstairs, so if you want to go ahead and grab that, you can grab that now. But I'm going to go ahead and show the 6th and final shield bearer, which is just down here.
I'm gonna grab this bonfire first.
So you can see there's this guy with the longsword. There are several of those longsword. And number 6. Whoops. Did he drop an iron shield? He did.
What?
Wow. So, yeah, Iron Round Shield is really, really good for parrying. I do use it quite a bit often. Some bosses, though, are completely unparryable, so do not count on it all the time that it's going to save your butt, because it is not. Very useful for Iron, or for Lothric Knights.
Well. Ow. Oh, are you kidding me?
And behind here is another Titanite Shard. Now this is where we're going to start looking at Titanite Shards. So I'm going to go ahead and head back. We're going to go ahead and travel back to the Firelink Shrine. We have 2 Titanite Shards. This is a good stopping point where we can kind of go back and start looking at upgrading our sword.
Yeah.
So even though I am going to eventually go for the Lothric Knight Sword, the Lothric Knight Sword right now takes 18 dex, so I'm going to have to take quite a while at farming the high wall of Lothric to even upgrade that sword. But in the stead of that, I'm actually going to upgrade the basic sword because there's not too much difference in damage in comparison when you're doing one or the other. You're just putting way too many points into dex early versus just using what tools you have currently. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my sword. And we're actually going to do this twice. We need another 4 Titanite Shards. There are only 4 Titanite Shards remaining on the High Wall of Lothric, other than if you can kill Lothric Knights or even any other enemy. I did not do my Estus Flask. There we go.
Pretty be careful. Like that.
If you're killing any other enemy, they also drop it as well. But yeah, so now my sword actually does a little bit more damage, which is actually pretty useful.
Yeah. No, I don't want
Now,
to climb up.
one thing I wanted to bring up between the Lothric sword, Iron Shield, and even like the long sword, trying to get the long sword on the High Wall of Lothric, when you're talking about drop rates, when you're talking about like the Lothric Knight Sword, there are 6 Lothric Knights on the map. 2 of them are Spear Knights. So there's only 4 Lothric Knights that actually have swords, and that can actually drop the Lothric Knight Sword. So there's only 4 of those guys. So that is what it is. There are 4 guys, but especially when you're talking about like the iron round shield, that goes from a 4% drop rate from the Lothric Knight Sword down to a 2%, which makes it really absurd for the round shield, trying to get the round shield, because you could do, again, like 10 runs, and you could just have a bad time with it. I'm going to go ahead and show a parry here. Spend some stamina just swinging into the wind. There we go.
Ow.
Taunt the Lothric Knight here.
Oh, come on.
Parries are not very useful to me.
Oh, come on.
Parries do high damage, but they're not very consistent. Knight armor. Alright.
I'm having trouble with this stupid pus person.
Yes. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through those. So parrying is pretty good, but again, like I wish they would have upped the drop rates for the Iron Round Shield to 4%, and then for like the basic longsword, it should instead of be 1%, it should actually be 2%. But it just gets really absurd for those type of weapons. We're gonna actually go back to the Firelink Shrine again, because I forgot something. So I need to go out. Where is out? There's out. And you can't
Die,
exit.
pus person.
You can't exit the Firelink Shrine until the fog wall goes down.
Area Titanite.
So there is the master over here with the, I believe it's Ujitia or whatever the katana is, long katana. Sephiroth sword, so if you want that, you can come over here. But the main reason I'm going for him is something that I stated earlier, which is every piece of armor increases your armor.
Ew. Aw.
So his armor that he drops is the lightest armor in the game with really high stat distributions. Especially being light. All right.
Okay, I don't need to go down here quite yet.
And I should be a lot further along than I am, but I'm just kind of showing some things. So kind of bear with me. So for armor pieces, we're just going to show off gauntlets. And let's just go ahead and show off the whole kit. So here, my flat defense, just looking at flat defense, is 90, 87, 87, 88. And if I swap out any of these for lesser, because these are like less protection you would think. But if I go, because the weight is 10 to 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then the weight is 3.5 to 0.3, so it's really, really light for those type of equipments. But you'll notice my flat defense does not change. The only time that that stat actually changes is if I remove a piece of armor. So having something in every single slot does increase the damage reductions. So that's just really, really useful across the board, just knowing. But yeah. All right. And I have no burn shard. All right.